We come from many backgrounds, we come from many places. The common bonds that join us go back centuries. It is found in small towns and large cities, along the back roads and quiet diners and farms, and it lives in PTA meetings, crowded gymnasiums, and busy factory floors. It's a spirit of determination, volunteerism, and service as old as the country itself. Wearing the uniform of our nation, the citizen soldiers and airmen of the Oregon National Guard reflect their community's aspirations, hopes, and dreams for the future. Our missions are seldom easy, often presenting challenges and testing our resiliency, but we wouldn't want it any other way. As Oregon Military Department citizens and service members, we are at our best when our state or nation turn to us in time of crisis. It's an obligation we don't take lightly and one we gladly embrace. Dedicated to serve and guided by our core values of character, competence, courage, and commitment.
Over the past 3 years, Oregon National Guard members have been on the front lines of the coronavirus pandemic, supporting our neighbors and nation, from operating testing sites to providing vaccines to thousands of Oregonians, as well as mobilizing to support other missions throughout our communities. For example, over 1,500 of our citizen soldiers and airmen this past year were assigned to Task Force Reassurance, which directed staffing assistance at nearly 50 hospitals. As the most significant domestic mobilization since World War II, the deployment was short-lived. By the end of December, the Omicron variant was surging cases around the nation.
And with a surge of COVID-19 cases, Governor Kate Brown ordered hundreds of National Guard members to help with hospital relief. 1,200 Oregon citizen soldiers and airmen mobilized on Wednesday. Now, this new activation of the Guard is an increase from the over 500 the governor previously announced. They'll help in 40 hospitals across the state. National Guard members will provide much-needed support for the understaffed hospitals.
These mobilizations for domestic operational support have only made our Oregon National Guard soldiers and airmen more ready and resilient force. It's allowed us to take on overseas missions better prepared, more organized, and responsive for nearly any demanding situation. As January began, the second mobilization of nearly 120 Oregon National Guard soldiers assigned to Charlie Troop, 1st Squadron, 82nd Cavalry Regiment, deployed to Poland to support the European Deterrence Initiative as part of Operation Atlantic Resolve. By the end of the month, 130 members of Alpha Troop returned from Poland. Also deploying to Europe during the past year, 9 soldiers of the 115th Mobile Public Affairs Detachment were assigned to Special Operations Command Europe in Stuttgart, Germany. They provided public affairs support throughout Europe during their 9-month assignment. As the Omicron variant peaked in late winter, additional in-person training schedules filled our Guardsmen's calendar. The Oregon Air National Guard traveled and hosted exercises for not only their flying mission, but critical support units too. For example, 42nd Wing took part in the Checkered Flag 22 exercise at Tyndall Air Force Base in Florida in May. The 2 weeks of training focused on weapon systems and dissimilar aircraft training. Also in May, the 270th Air Traffic Control Squadron used its annual training to practice deploying to remote locations. They spent 2 weeks at Amity Army Airfield in California. Also traveling for essential joint training, the 116th Air Control Squadron participated in Exercise Red Flag at Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada in March. Oregon citizen soldiers were also on point this summer on other real-world missions. Alpha Company, 3rd Battalion, 116th Cavalry Regiment mobilized for a 1-year deployment to Kuwait in August. The soldiers augmented the 2nd Battalion, 116th Cavalry Regiment from Idaho National Guard. The competition for the Oregon Best Warrior took place in February. 17 Army Guard soldiers from around the state participated in the event. They were pushed through 4 days of physically grueling challenges while testing their mental endurance and grit. Sergeant Nathan Flores, assigned to Delta Company, 741st Brigade Engineering Battalion, won the NCO competition as Specialist Wyatt Walls, assigned to HHB 2nd Battalion, 218th Field Artillery, took top honors in the Soldier Division. In regards to domestic operations, the Oregon National Guard lived up to the National Guard motto of always ready, always there. In 2022, the Oregon Army National Guard flew 11 search and rescue missions and provided traffic control assistance for communities affected by wildfires.
Soldiers and airmen with the Oregon National Guard and Army are lending a helping hand at the Rum Creek fire. This is after the fire exploded in acreage and now stands at over 19,000 acres burned. Crews were called to help assist with the blaze on August 27th and arrived the following day. In the matter of less than 24 hours for some, crews made it to Josephine County and instantly started their helping efforts. And while crews are trained to help mop up alongside firefighters, this crew of 51 troops were called to assist with traffic enclosures.
With a fitting conclusion to the fiscal year, Camp Umatilla was formally renamed the Raymond F. Reese Training Center. Returning home to Oregon, General Daniel Hokanson, Chief of the National Guard Bureau, was the keynote speaker for the event. During his formal remarks, Hokanson, who served as the Adjutant General for Oregon following Reese's retirement, described the impact his mentor had on so many, saying,
"I am merely one of the countless number of soldiers and airmen he has influenced in his nearly 60-year career. And everyone at every rank, every partner at every level, has benefited from his counsel and leadership by example."
Reese's wife, Mary Lynn, officially dedicated the Raymond F. Reese Training Facility. This place will always bear his name to serve as an inspiration and a training mecca for Oregon's citizen soldiers.
Thank you to all who have served, are serving, and will serve. You are our heroes.
The past training year has been extraordinary both in scope and task. The entire team that makes up the Oregon Military Department, from our members in uniform, our civilian staff, our contractors, and countless volunteers, all make up an organization that continuously ensures the citizens of Oregon and our nation remain our primary responsibility. As President Truman famously said, "It's amazing what you can get done when you don't care who gets the credit."